Hi, this is Belén Diet and you're watching the E-volve show. Today we're going to be talking about dating. We have a relationship and dating coach and her name is Dana Dasha. Dana Dasha is a relationship and dating coach and she will help you to feel incredible about yourself and your love life. So hi Dana, how are you?
Hi Belén, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, it is a pleasure to have you here. I know it's like a very different time zone for you and for me since you're in South Africa, right? You say?
Yeah, I'm currently in Cape Town, but in normal life, I would be traveling all over the world. But with the
It's
current world
not
situation, I'm
happening.
stuck here.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
year is going to be difficult for everybody. So yeah, Dana, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do in your business?
Thank you. I'm a love coach, love dating and relationship coach, and I help women step into their feminine power and their feminine energy so they can find the relationships they want and cultivate the love that they desire and the love that they feel that they deserve in their romantic lives, in their love lives. Yeah, it's amazing to see how women can shift when they learn the different tools that I coach and teach, and yeah, and how quickly things can change in their relationships or their dating lives if they're not currently committed. So it's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah, it's just always so interesting, right? Like when you find a coach or somebody who can help you to figure out those things, because as you do, like you teach these things so people can like find your support or learn
Yeah.
about the things that you have done. So how all of this is started for you? Like you always
I
knew
know.
you want to do this, or was something that you actually learned, or you were like having difficulties?
Yeah, great question. Well, I've always been very interested in relationships and that kind of domain. And I started studying psychology, but I changed to business. But I always wish I had gone into psychology and relationship coaching specifically. So it's
Mm-hmm.
always been in the back of my head. But how I came into actually doing it was I was in a relationship for 3 years, 3.5 years, and I thought he was going to be my forever man. And things changed a bit in the dynamic, and it was quite stressful, and I was trying to figure out how to fix the relationship. And so I came across the amazing concept of feminine energy in a relationship, and how the difference between being in your masculine energy and being in your feminine energy just completely changes the course of your relationship if you're too much in your masculine and not enough in your feminine. So I was completely being in my masculine way too much and not enough in my feminine. And so I finally understood how to balance that through the different tools and techniques I learned by doing coaching myself and then doing the coaching training. And then, yeah, it was amazing because then I realized the relationship I was in was actually not good for me. And I was able to cultivate this confidence in myself that I had lost and find the strength to let it go, to make room for something newer and better, which I feel like a lot of women, they seem to settle for something because they don't feel like they can really find the love that they want because they're too scared to let go of the love that they have in front of them. So yeah, it's just really about building up your inner feminine power and loving yourself enough to make space for something that's much more better for you. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's
So
so
it
much.
was, yeah, so it was more like you were having these difficulties with your relationship and you tried, like you found help, like you seek for help to improve
Yeah.
the relationship and learn about it. That's so amazing.
Yeah, and like I went to like I didn't realize that there was relationship coaching. So like I went to like a therapist, I went to like different kinds of counselors, and like I just didn't feel like the right fit. And like I felt like it wasn't like a serious enough situation for like a therapist, or I don't know. But then I found the relationship coaching and it was actually exactly what I needed, because it was all the things, like it just really helps me with my inner work and my inner journey and really creating the relationship that I really desire and deserve. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's very interesting.
I think it's so important what you just said. I feel like sometimes we think like if we're gonna look for help or support or for somebody to help us, we need to be in a very like bad situation. Or you were saying like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not that like, yeah, I'm having a breakup, or like that's normal, everybody goes through that.
Yeah.
So sometimes we feel like it's not that big to go to find help, but it's so important nowadays that we normalize. And that's also why we try to do in Evolve Your World, is like inspiring women to find that help, that it can really like help you to move faster through things that are normal for all of us.
Yeah, definitely. And the work I do, it's not just for women who are in relationships or married, or you can be single, you could be dating, or like in a more casual relationship. It's for anyone really. Like there's no limit to the work I do. It's just I guess the common factor is that you don't feel satisfied in your romantic relationships, and you want to make it better, or you really want to find the love that you want, or yeah. So you can be single, you can be dating, you can be committed, you could be divorced, you can be in any kind of shape, category, or form. You
Yeah,
just want to really improve your love life. And so I can
totally.
definitely help with that. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
have this question for like almost the last one, but since you were talking about it, I'm like, let's jump in. Do you want to
Okay.
tell us a little bit about what is like the feminine energy and masculine energy? Because I feel like we might be familiar with it, but maybe some of the audience have never heard of those things.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, in the coaching that I do specifically, our definition of masculine and feminine, obviously men and women both have masculine and feminine energy inside of them. It just doesn't mean because you're a man you're only masculine energy, or because you're a woman you're only feminine energy. So the masculine side of us is the side of us that wants to be in control, that wants to take charge, that is very action oriented, like future thinking, like go, 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 that kind of energy, which is fantastic if you're in the workplace, or if you're in your job or your career, or if you're being a mom and you need stuff to happen, you need action and movement, and like, yeah, it's all that kind of doing energy. And feminine energy is kind of the opposite side of the spectrum, where you're more present, you're more in the moment, you're in your feeling body. Masculine energy is more like thinking mode, so it's more logical, and feminine's more feeling based and intuitive, and just being gentle and soft. And but it doesn't mean that you're weak or anything like that. It's just more like from the heart energy and the heart space, and the feeling, and expressive, and sharing how you feel. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the kind of different thing. So oftentimes women, they are so successful in their careers, or being a mom, or other areas of life, and that's all that masculine energy, and they think, oh, because I'm such a superhero at work, I can take that same energy home to my man, or to my relationship, or in my dating life, and I'm going to be super successful also. And it doesn't translate well, because a man wants to be a man in the relationship, and if he's already naturally in that masculine energy of taking charge, organizing everything, and you also try to be in that energy, there's going to be a bit of a power struggle. And so it's much easier to communicate with a man if you drop down into your feminine energy, into your heart, and you just really be present and express how you feel, instead of sharing what you think.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds a bit strange, but like a lot of women try to outsmart a man by being like his intellectual equal, or try to make better jokes than him. And then for a man, he just kind of feels this competitive energy from the woman, and it's a bit of a turn off, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with being smarter than the man, or whatever. It's just the way you communicate it. And so it's all about teaching women how to tap into that feminine energy and communicate from that feminine energy place, rather than the masculine energy place, because it's much more receptive for a man. It's much easier for a man to connect to your heart. If you're if you're connected to your heart, it's much easier for a man to connect to his own heart, and then open up to you, because he sees you as this beautiful, gentle, feminine being that's really like enticing and wow to him, you know? You're
Yeah.
not like another man in a woman's body that he has to compete with, you know? So it's kind of understanding those little subtleties, and just, yeah, practicing being in your feminine.
Yeah,
There's a whole lot to it.
yeah,
Yeah, go
it
on.
is a big subject, and I have to say, like, even for me, my relationship, it kind of like when I start learning these things, is not that I implement them like, oh, you have to do this, but kind of like I was aware of it. So if I was like,
Mm,
oh, I don't need to, I can do everything myself, and blah blah
yeah,
blah blah, you know, like more like what you say, more competitive, then
yeah,
that didn't work, you know, because then what
yeah,
we're saying, like nowadays, men also, like, since we have like same job, same pay, well, no same pay, but we have good pay, like we can live by
yeah,
ourselves, like all these things, they don't feel really like where are they matching or where is their place, you know, like they don't have to
yeah,
take care of us anymore. So just to have that in
yeah,
mind, it's always interesting to just make,
yeah,
to just be aware of it, I guess. So then for,
yeah,
I have a question, like for, like with your experience as a dating or relationship coach, like what are the things that you see like single women struggle most, or like
yeah.
that they have difficulties? What is the patterns or the things that you see that you're like, oh yeah, same thing that my other client, oh, same thing that the other person, my
Yeah.
coach? What are those things that women don't realize that we do all the time when we're dating?
Yeah, well, I mean, to sum it up in short, it's just they're too much in their masculine energy when this can be expressed as like wanting to pay on a date. Like if the man wants to pay, let the man pay, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Or
It's great.
you know, just, but a lot of women struggle with this. They feel like they need to contribute or they need to share the bill, or they take it personally that, you know, like there's nothing like wrong. Just say thank you. Oh, that's so wonderful. Thank you so much. And like let the man feel like he has a moment of being a man. I don't know, you know. That's like a funny one that a lot of women who are dating seem to have issues with, and then they wonder why the man doesn't want to have a second date, or because it's not about the actual money, it's just the action of being defensive. And if you understand what I'm saying, like putting up that wall and the woman stepping into her masculine energy, so that, you know, that's one of those things. And then another one, which is a big one, a lot of women who are dating, they say there's no good men left, there's no decent men out there, but they're too fussy. Like what I teach is you have to be open. If you want to find the love you desire and the relationship you want, you have to go into it with an open heart and an open mind. So you have to say yes to everyone, because who knows who you're going to meet. Like you can't judge someone on a picture, you know, and you don't want someone to judge you on your picture too. You know, obviously you need to have a good profile, but you've got to be open-minded and say yes to everyone, and meet them for a drink, meet them for a coffee, and just have an exchange and actually feel their energy and see how you feel in their presence. So that's a big one. Like a lot of women say there's no one out there and that's why they can't find anyone, but they are being limited. They're, you know, they're not being open. And yeah, you've got to be open and you've got to get off the couch and actually go on some dates. I do
Yeah,
not recommend chatting online for ages. That's an absolute waste of time. You got to connect online if you're online dating, and then make a meeting, make a date and meet them in real life. Like don't waste your time chit chatting, because then you just create like an imaginary situation in your head and you don't even know if this chat translates into real life. So it's really, really important to get out there and actually meet in person so you don't waste your time. Yeah,
totally. So
that's a
yeah,
big
that's
one.
so important. Like what you're mentioning, like nowadays with all the online dating, like it's true. Like, and we have to think like men are, or like the other person are in the same situation, going through the phone and trying to figure out what you say. Like nobody has to be judged because you, the other person is also like being vulnerable, going out, trying to meet you. Like I feel like I know people and they tell me like it's exhausting, you know, like they don't know how to do it, or like if to don't do online dating. But
Mm,
apparently, like it looks like nowadays is where everybody is. So, what will be like some tips or things that
yeah.
you can give to the people who are trying to find a relationship? in these days?
Great. Yeah, great question. Definitely, that's another thing that a lot of my clients say. They say online dating's exhausting, but I teach them how to change their mindset and see dating and online dating as fun and as a form of free therapy, because it's not that you go on online dating and you're like, okay, my goal is to find a husband tomorrow. No, you've just got to go out there and have fun. And it's all about learning about yourself and what you like and what you don't like, because how are you ever going to find your perfect partner if you become so fixated on just finding the one? You don't know, maybe you don't even know who your one is. So you've got to go, and it's like going shopping for like the perfect dress. You've got to try on a lot of dresses,
Yeah.
go to lots of different shops, go like, at different times of the month when you're feeling thin, fat, whatever. You've just got to keep on trying until tried all different kinds of dresses, all kinds of different labels, and then you'll realize what kind of fabric you like, what kind of styles you like, what kind of colors you like, and then you slowly narrow it down. And in that journey of trying to find the perfect fit, you learn about yourself and your boundaries and what you tolerate, what you won't tolerate. And so it's a whole journey. So you have to really see it as fun. You've got to change your mindset, and make it fun. And it's all about learning about yourself. And you're going to spend the rest of your life with you for sure. So you've got to learn to love yourself. And it's like,
Yeah, and use
but
it as a training, right? Like it's like, well, the first date is uncomfortable. You don't know what to talk about, but maybe like if you use it like a training, then you're like, okay, I'm gonna learn today. I'm gonna see if I do this or if I'm more funny, or like just try
so
to
yeah,
feel yourself.
and then the coaching I do with the women, we work together on how to go through these dates so that they feel really comfortable and confident, and they learn how to use all the tools that I teach so that they become an absolute dating professional, and they love it. And then you raise your energy and you raise your vibration so that you become really sexy, and everyone wants to go on dates with you because you're so confident and you're having fun. And yeah, that's what dating coaching is all about. It's like really raising your energy and your vibe so that you can find the man that you want, because you're just oozing such positivity and happiness that who wouldn't want to go on a date with you, and then you end up meeting your one just by chance because you're just actually so happy with who you are in your life. But yeah, it's a whole journey. It comes through the process of learning about yourself and having coaching to help you get there, and learning all the tools and then practicing all those tools that you learn while you're on dates. It's really fun. I love it. It's a
That's so
fascinating
cool.
process. Yeah.
It is a very really exciting subject, because I feel like it's something like nobody teach us, and it's
Mm.
something like you're always like looking for the one, but no, like what do you do? And what you were saying, like if people don't learn about these things, or like even what you were saying, like feeling confident, liking yourself, like going to the date with your level of energy up, because if you're there like again, I'm here and I'm like, already don't like this guy, like then what are you expecting,
Yeah, exactly. So it's all about looking at every date that you have and every man you meet as a messenger for you, where you can learn something about yourself and hopefully learn something about your life and the world. And it's never a waste of time, even if you have a bad date, there's a learning experience to be had. And eventually you'll start to love dating and you'll be excited to go on dates. I mean, when I was single after I broke up with my ex, where I got into the coaching, I was so excited to go on dates because I had all this amazing knowledge from my coaching training, and I was having so much fun and it was great.
You
And
were
then I
like,
met
I'm a pro at this.
I'm a pro. Yeah, it was so much fun. I was going, like, the key is to give every guy, if you have time, at least 2 or 3 dates, and just keep them short, like 20 minutes, coffee dates. There's no need to commit to dinner or like a big afternoon. Just give them like 20 minutes, and then you can like feel the energy and see how you feel about him and how you feel about the interaction, because that's what's important. It's not about how they feel, it's how you feel. There's
Totally.
no point going on a date or being with someone if you don't feel good about it. So it's all about learning to trust your intuition and trust yourself and your own judgment, and to trust what you like and don't like. And
Yeah.
that's what dating is all about. It's trying on all the shoes before you buy the best shoe. You know?
Totally. So you are all about like no wasting too much time on your phone and actually
Yeah.
like, okay, this guy looks interesting. Let's connect, get a coffee and figure out if yes or no and give like a few dates so you can get the feeling, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
definitely. I'm not a fan of long distance or wasting time chit-chatting for weeks and weeks. You match with a guy, make a plan, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, maybe you chat for like one day, I don't know, just to see if there's a vibe, but just make a plan because some guys they just like to waste girls' times, you know, they just want to chat and they don't actually want to meet. And then what you've done, you've made stories in your head of having his babies and getting married and you haven't even met and it's been 5 months. You know what I mean? Like
Totally.
you don't want to end up in that situation. You want to meet and you want to go on as many dates with as many different men as possible. You don't want to get stuck on one guy, you know, if you're just going on first dates. Obviously, if you find a guy that you like, then yeah, you
You
be a
try.
little bit more
Mhm.
committed, but like don't feel guilty for going on lots of different dates. Date as many men as you have time for, you know?
Yeah,
Doesn't mean
you're
you have to
meeting
kiss them
people.
or sleep them. Yeah, you're meeting people and you're seeing what's out there. You're trying on all the different dresses and shoes to see what you like the best, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
that's the only way to find the love that you really deserve. So
Yeah, I love that. Like just
Mhm.
going to all the dates as possible and figure out like what
Yeah,
you like because sometimes we don't even
yeah.
know what we want. So what will be, for example, like one of your tips for like when the ladies like or they already connect and they're gonna go for a date, but then they cancel or they don't show up. Like, what are we doing with
Don't take it personally. Like he's never met you, he doesn't know you. If he's cancelled or if he doesn't show up, then that's his loss. That's why you have to have lots of different other men in your dating diary. So you can just call someone else and go on a date with someone else. You
yeah,
know, if you fixate on one guy and then he cancels, you're gonna feel really bad. So that's why if you have lots of other guys in your rotation of dating, then you
hmm,
just call someone else and be like, hey, what are you up to? Let's go on a date. But like if someone ghosts you or doesn't show up or cancels, that's their problem. Don't take it personally. You know that you're great and you're wonderful. And if they're too scared or too busy to like hang out or to be polite and share their reasons why, then just
yeah.
let it go, you know? Don't waste your energy stressing about someone who doesn't know you.
And I think
So
what you were saying too, like it's so important your coaching or somebody's help or support, because in those moments, because that's where it comes like the mindset, the self-love,
yeah,
like to know like you're valuable, you're worthy, like, okay, he didn't show up. Who cares? Let's
yeah.
go with the next one.
Yeah, and don't, yeah, just, and that's why it's nice to have a few different guys in your diary so you can just go on a different date with someone else, and then that person will be maybe really happy to see you, and so that boosts your vibe again, boosts your confidence, and you don't feel this rejection from some person who doesn't even know you, you know? Like,
Totally. Yeah,
yeah.
it's just different these days because it's true. Like you people don't have a lot of commitment or like it's just very easy to contact somebody and then don't text them anymore or things like that. So it's just like you have to don't take it personal and just move
So
on to
the
the next.
yeah, so the difference when you're learning how to be in your feminine energy, you create this image of a really strong woman. So often you'll attract men who won't even do that to you. So it raises your vibe and it raises your level of communication to a certain degree when you're communicating from your feminine energy, that it kind of already weeds out all these men who are going to ghost you and cancel on you because you've made it very clear in your texting communication and your boundaries what you like and don't like already. So that's what I teach my clients, like that kind of communication from the beginning. But of course, yeah, people do ghost and cancel sometimes, but when you start from the very, very beginning, the foundation of being in your feminine energy and dating and relationships from a feminine energy way, it really helps to weed out all those men who are
Who's not?
insecure or like have their own issues, you know. They'll see that you're too much of a strong, powerful feminine energy woman that they won't even maybe go for a date, you know, but she'll attract the men that actually like that and who are in their masculine energy and want to go on a date with you. So that's the difference.
That is so cool that you mentioned that, because it's true, like that's also like how you present yourself and how you bring your energy, so you will not attract the people who are not there for you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's very fascinating. Like I've saw such a difference myself when I was dating last year, doing it for my feminine energy. Like, yeah, a huge difference for the quality of men and the interactions I had and just my whole vibe in general and how much fun I was having. So yeah, it's very, very rewarding.
That's great. So then,
Mm.
how people can connect with you? How can they find you, or how can they get your coaching?
Great. Well, I'm happy to offer a free 20-minute trial session for anyone who's interested. You just have to email me and I'll send you a questionnaire and then we proceed from there. Otherwise, you can go onto my website, danadashacoaching.com. I have a free gift for everyone on my website, a little book on how to date during lockdown. That's still going on 1 year later. Then I'm on Instagram, of course. My Instagram is at Love Coach Dana. And then I'm on TikTok too, which is Love Coach Dana. It's just a different spelling, but if you search Love Coach Dana, I'm sure you'll find it. It's just love.coach.dana.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's it for the socials. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
Well,
yes,
we'll have
yeah.
all the links in the newsletter and in the video so people can connect with you. Thank you
Fantastic.
so much for your time and for being here with us today.
All right. Thank you so much, Dylan. It's been a pleasure.